And welcome to the NFL Today on YouTube. This is the segment that we learn from the professors here. We're going to talk about the Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Interesting that the Bears are now 8-3 after an 0-2 start. Coach, let me set you up because coaching is important.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams, so much talk about him, but he's listening and paying attention, and it's paying dividends.
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, what they've done up there with Caleb has been unbelievable. I think the biggest thing they've done is he's putting them under center. Last year, he was under center 15% of the time. This year, he's up to almost 35% of the time. I think they've done a great job of getting them on the corner, of simplifying the passing game. They got the running game going, and he's just making good decisions right now. This offense is just playing very, very well. You look at what he's done, what Caleb has done, and again, taking care of the football, using his legs, and again, DJ Moore right there. The tight ends that he has in the game, and running game has been a big part of it as well. So I think you look what's taking place up in Chicago. It's back to a lot of fundamentals. And their defense is taking the football away, and I think it's just been a very good combination.
Can I ask the quarterback a question and you guys elaborate on it?
Yeah.
Why is playing him, for the novice, including me, why is playing him, Caleb, under center so very important?
I think it does a couple of things. Number one, I think it improves your timing as a passer. When you are under center, you are forced to move your feet faster.
There you go.
So if you're taking a 5-step drop from under center, those feet have to be up and down. And I believe there's a rhythm that gets imprinted into your brain when you're under center of what the actual timing looks like.
Yeah, because the receivers, the pass catchers, also are on timing with the routes.
So steps, just for instance, if you're throwing an out route, a 12-yard out route, we'd oftentimes say it's a 6-step route.
Yep.
A 6-step route for a wide receiver.
Yep.
Well, it's a 5-step drop and the plant. So I'm 1 step shorter than what the receiver is, which means the ball has to be out as soon as that back foot hits, so the ball's on time.
So by the time I turn my head, that ball is already in the air.
Correct. If I were in the gun, it's only 3 steps. It's only 3 steps that I'm taking while the receiver is taking 6. So you can be a little slower with your timing. I just think being under center for young players ingrains the timing and the rhythm aspect of the passing game. And I think we're starting to see that with Caleb.
Yeah.
I think the ball is coming out of his hand, and he knows where it's supposed to go, and it's coming out in timing and rhythm. I think that's excellent. I think the other thing, you said it, you said coaching matters. Coach, you've talked about this all the time. It also makes drafting matter, right? Good coaches make draft picks come to life. And I think you're seeing that in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
You've got Rome Odunze, first-round pick last year. He's playing good football for them right now. You've got Caleb Williams, first overall draft pick last year. He's playing really good football right now. Colston Loveland, the tight end that they took.
He's balling.
He's starting to make I didn't even know this graphic was coming up, but I'm glad it did. Colston Loveland's on there. He's got 4 catches, 49 yards in today's game. You got Kyle Monangai. Coach, you're talking on the highlights all the time about his physical running right there.
Right.
And then DJ Moore, veteran player that's been there. I think all of these guys are starting to come to life, but that's because of the coaching. And that's because of the vision of how he wants to use these pieces. I think they've got a deep roster. I really do. I think they have a deep roster in Chicago that's built for long-term success.
Yeah, long-term success and long-term improvement. You know, after the game, we showed in our post-game show, Ben Johnson talking to his squad. And he was yelling and screaming, and they were barking back, and I kind of joked about how I didn't understand what they were saying. So I have to give a shout-out to somebody on Twitter that helped me out. Here's what he said. Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better, and then your better gets best. And right now, that literally describes their season. Slow start, right? They lose the first game, I think, by a field goal, and then the second game, they get smacked up. And all of a sudden, we're questioning what the Bears are. Who are they? Are they going to be good? Is Ben Johnson in over his head? What's going on with Caleb Williams? Why doesn't he have a grasp of this playbook? Then all of a sudden, you know what? Just let your good get better on a daily basis, weekly basis, until you become the best. And right now, I mean, don't look up, but the NFC North, the Chicago Bears are ¡1 in that division. So, you know what? Matter of fact, give me that sound right now, because I want to hear it again.
Bring it on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Good gets better. Good gets better. You better get better. You better get better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears.
All right. So you know why I love that? Because
So say it again. So it's what?
it's good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good gets better and your better gets best. I love that right there. What I really love about it is, let's just take people inside the locker room. When a new coach comes in, it's a very, gentle situation.
You got to get buy-in.
You got to get buy-in because coaches are going to come in hype, and they're going to be selling everything they believe in, everything that they have learned in their coaching career. They're almost going to do it on day one. So the first thing you got to get is the vets. You get the vets, then the young fellas will pay attention. They will follow suit. But you can easily lose your team if that enthusiasm seems inauthentic, and all of a sudden we're like, we don't believe what he's selling us. And you can just tell by the way that these guys are responding, not just verbally in the locker room, but how they're responding on the field, that they actually believe what Ben Johnson was trying to tell them all year long. And right now, that transition from going from good to better, and these guys now believing that they are the best, that's dangerous for everybody else in the league right now.
I think the thing that nobody had questions about when Ben Johnson was hired with the Bears was his ability to scheme.
Agreed.
Was his ability to get guys open the way that he did in Detroit.
Facts.
I think the thing you never know, though, is how he is going to lead men.
Yeah.
How he's going to be in that locker room, how he's going to get that buy-in that you're talking about. I think it starts in a couple different ways, and Coach, you could probably speak to this better than anybody. I think players want coaches who are going to bring out the best in them.
Yeah.
So they want to be pushed to see how good of a player they can become. Can you do that through scheme? Can you do that through technique? Can you do those things? I think Ben does an excellent job of that. I think they also need to see success every once in a while on the field. We talked about that 0-2 start and then the ability to find a way to get a couple of wins right after that and get back into it. I think that stretch of the season where it's late September into early October, finding ways to win ball games at the end. Maybe it wasn't pretty, but we found a way that reinforces to players, okay, we're on the right track. And now that buy-in happens even better. And then you can get to the hype, right? The emotional, bringing out the emotional best in players. And I think you're seeing Ben do that really, really well right now.
I think when you look at Ben Johnson, where he came from, he had some credibility because they played against the Detroit Lions. They watched the creativity that he had with that offense. They knew that he was coming in with the mentality of, you know, we're going to be a physical football team on the offensive side of the ball, but we're also going to be explosive. And that's kind of a fine line of saying, you know what, we're going to have physicality up front, but we're also going to have fun doing this and scoring some points. And I think that there is a degree, that first couple of things. The thing that he said after they lost 2 games is we didn't know how to prepare. Our practices, we didn't know how to prepare like a champion.
Remember that.
Remember he came out and talked about, we don't understand what the preparation.
And people thought he was taking a shot at his squad.
Yes, and he's like, we just don't know how to prepare. And so, yes, and you do have to have validation. Winning has to validate what you're preaching. And so all of a sudden you start having success, but you're not changing your preparation. You're not changing your messaging. And I don't think he's changed his messaging at all. I think all that's done has been reinforced with what he's done. Because repetitive messaging is how you do it in this league.
I think the messaging is being received.
Yeah, well, it's getting received because
it's being received. It's a two-way street.
Because you're winning and you're repeating the same thing.
And the last thing,
and it's working.
The last thing I'll say too is during that stretch after the 0-2, they really made a commitment to getting under center, like you said, not only to throw the football, to run the football. I believe the run game on first and second down is better from under center because it makes the defense unsure on which direction we're going to go.
And let's not lose sight of his staff. Dennis Allen on the other side, who was a head coach in New Orleans Saints, has been there before. I came in my first year, I got Ron Earhart. He was a head coach before, later in his age, for the New England Patriots, and he was an offensive guy. You look at Josh McDaniel with Mike Vrabel. Sometimes you have that balance we talk about with offense and defense of people that you can turn it over to and say, you know what, you take care of that. You message on that side. I'll message on this side, but I'm also going to message this team. They are buying in. They're dangerous, but when you look at their schedule, they got a tough schedule ahead of them now.
Hey, this
you want to go through it?
Go ahead. Tell us what it is.
Philly next week.
Yep.
Green Bay after that.
Come on.
Cleveland, which is probably the easiest game left on their schedule. Who's good and tough on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
They got Green Bay again, San Francisco, and Detroit. That's a tough stretch at the end of the season.
With all this said, listen, we're hyping up this team, and Caleb Williams is still a young quarterback. Ben Johnson is in his first year as a head coach. Green Bay Packers won today. The Lions won today. I know the Vikings on the outside looking in, but the NFC North is going to be a gauntlet at the end of the year.
And the more you win, the more confident you become. And sometimes you can play a lot better than you really are.
No doubt.
I
Coach,
like that.
I'm going to go back to what you said before. The trajectory looks good for Chicago. People talk about trusting the process.
Yes.
That is the culmination of all the elements in place that the coach is implementing. And when they see success, now they can feel good. Control the narrative is what you said. Don't believe the outside, because there were some pretty vociferous critics on the outside who were blasting Caleb and others. But look at what's happening now. If you listen, you said coaching really matters. Hey, folks, hey, I'm loving sitting in front of the professors here and learning it. And Drew Kaliski, our producer, just said, amen. Every Sunday, 12 noon, right here on the NFL.
I'm looking that up right now. Vociferous.